Hi, this is Toby from LITH-TECH Mobility. In today's video, we're going to talk about taking your wheelchair abroad and flying predominantly. We'll talk about other sorts of travel as well, but we have so many customers that are obviously in this situation, and the airlines are getting stricter and stricter, same with the cruise ships, and the criteria is forever changing. We like to try and stay on top of it as much as possible. So this video should help anyone that's looking to fly in the oncoming months or in the future. So first and foremost, what I want to say, most importantly, is have insurance. Yes, if the airline damaged your wheelchair or anything on it, there is a good chance you might be able to claim off it. However, it could take a long time, and that's what insurance is for. Part of the insurance, when we use fish, and part of the insurance on this is accidental damage. So that would classify taking your chair abroad. The second thing I want to talk about is warranty. So if you're in your first year with LITH-TECH, you do have warranty. If you're in a second year, you can get extended warranty again through fish. However, if your wheelchair is working up until you fly and you get off the flight and it's no longer working, that's not a warranty claim. That is an insurance claim. So I'll be very clear. We had this recently when someone boarded a flight, their chair was working perfectly, and then once they got the other side, the chair wasn't working. This is an insurance claim. The airline will sort it, but in the meantime, the insurance company will sort it. So that is not warranty, just so you know. Unfortunately, when we fly, we all know people don't treat stuff very, very well. And the airline baggage handlers sometimes are a little bit heavy-handed with the products. This is also why when you fly, it's important to fly with a travel bag. So your travel bag basically slots over your chair, does up underneath. You put the chair's wheels into free wheel mode. The wheels stick here, so the wheels aren't covered. And then you've got your handles, and it means you can tow your chair behind you like a suitcase. What this means is this is incredibly lightweight, it's strong, fireproof, but it will protect your chair. It will protect the wheels and motors from them being dragged, which is the number one thing that happens. And two, when it's inside the hold, it's going to have some sort of protection up against other items. So when it's bashing around, it's not going to put chips and scratches in it, which is not nice, because when you spend a couple of grand on something, you want to look after it, of course. Second thing is we're going to be needing some sort of a battery isolation bag. So about 90% of airlines now require you to travel with a battery isolation bag. Same material as the travel bag. They're fireproof. You've got two different slots. These are for the smaller batteries, so that will isolate the batteries. And you've got a little bit here for, maybe a charger, a lead. Oh, it's not very good, is it? Can't get the zip open. Oh dear, let's try that again. There we go. And then you can put your little items in here. The beauty of this is it's going to protect your batteries because it's very, very padded. And it's going to, adhere to regulations, which is the important thing. I mean, I think it would be a very, very bad idea whacking two batteries in a Sainsbury's bag and putting it up there. I recently saw a video actually on Instagram or something like that. It was actually an airline in China, and lithium batteries actually caught fire in the overhead cabin, and not quite sure what the batteries were for, to be fair. It could be a laptop, it could be anything, but it was lithium batteries for sure. And just want to be extra careful when you're flying. So these are our large battery bags. So these would be used for multi-chair, our Compact Plus, our Smart Chair 1, 1XL, the long style batteries. Other things you might wish to take and think about is, do I want to have a maintenance kit when I go away? We do a kit online, it's 40 quid, and this has got every single tool, cleaning accessory that you'll need to maintain and look after your wheelchair whilst you're abroad, so nothing happens. Next you're going to need, and you're not going to get this from a lot of the cheaper companies, you want a universal charger. A universal charger, and all of our chairs come with universal charger standard, by the way. Basically it gives you a kind of current between a lower end and a higher end, which means that if you go to a more third world country, or you go to America or whatever, that kind of voltage will be suitable for every plug socket, whether it's, I don't know, Chile, or it's, I don't know, Los Angeles, whatever. But it's important then, the only thing you then need is the adapter that goes on the end of the plug, which is then suitable for Europe, America, UK, whatever. So yeah, universal charger is important. The next thing is you will need some sort of a sticker on your battery. So this type of sticker is what we would have on our Smart Chair 2, which are the two smaller batteries, not the big one, by the way. The big one you can't fly with. That was obsolete, that type of battery, about 4 or 5 years ago. The Smart Chair X or the Smart Chair XXL. And then on the other batteries, you'll have a sticker similar to this. It basically will give you things like the operating temperature for the chairs, for the batteries, and all of their information. You'll have the watt hours, you'll have the amps, and you'll have the voltage. And it gives the airline everything they need in one place. For whatever reason, they don't seem to like looking at company specs. They don't even like MSDS sheets, which is basically a safety data sheet for your batteries, even though that's the manufacturer safety data sheet. That's not apparently good enough. The reason why you have to be so good is the airlines don't want you on there, quite frankly. So mobility has become way too accessible and they don't want you there. So they try and make your life as hard as possible because they would much rather just suitcase it. They'd much rather customers without a disability because it speeds up the process, it's less hassle, the insurances are easier. So what you have to understand is they're going to make your life as physically hard as possible because they do not want you there. It's a horrible fact, but it's true. It's the same with the cruise ships. So you have to be more than ready for your trip, so you don't end up, getting screwed over. Because we had it the other day, and a customer, just because they didn't have a sticker on a battery, even though they had all the documentation, they had our spec, they even spoke with us on the phone, they wouldn't accept it because they didn't have a stupid sticker. So our salesperson goes, okay, so what happens if I just made up a random sticker, which is easy to make up a sticker and just stuck it on there, would that be fine? And they said yes. So it could have been a 30Ah battery and you could have stuck a 6Ah battery and it would have been fine just because you'd had a sticker. No matter all about the safety data and the spec sheets from reputable companies like us or the manufacturer of the batteries, apparently that's not good enough. You just need a stupid little sticker. So that shows how much they don't want you on the flight. So you have to be over and above and ready for everything. So let's talk about that. What are the questions to ask before you go? It is not the airlines, it's not up to the airlines to tell you. It's up to you to ask the right questions to the airlines. So you need to be basically saying, look, I want to travel, and allow yourself enough time. Do it at least 3-4 months in advance, or as soon as you know you're going to travel. Ask them what their criteria is. So how would you like me to transport my wheelchair? Is my wheelchair suitable for this flight? Because you don't have to go with that airline, you know what I mean? You can go with an airline that's going to have much better criteria, that's going to suit your needs better. So what do I need to fly? Do you accept my batteries? What battery safety sheets do you need? Or do you need, or what do you need? What information do you need on my battery so I'm guaranteed to get on that flight? Do I have to remove my batteries from the chair? I can't remember if I said, do you need to know the folded and unfolded dimensions of the chair? Do you need to know the weight of the chair? Do you need any other documentation? Ask all these questions. What's your battery allowance? Is it just 2 6Ah batteries? Am I allowed 2 10Ah batteries? So all of our flights, all of our chairs are completely compatible on every airline in the world. However, Smart Chair X, which has 2 10Ah batteries, Aer Lingus doesn't accept any 10Ah batteries, period. So the Smart Chair X, for example, if you had a Smart Chair X, you wouldn't want to fly Aer Lingus. But it's up to you to do the research and ask the questions. Don't book a flight and then do the research afterwards, because quite frankly, that's just not a sensible idea. So it is down to you and your common sense. What else? Yeah, so, and 10Ah batteries, a lot of the airlines, the long haul ones especially, a little fact actually, so Jet2 will allow 10Ah batteries, but we know someone within Jet2, and apparently 70% of all mobility equipment that passes through Jet2 is LITH-TECH. So they're obviously very used to all of our chairs, our models, the battery allowances and things like that. So if you've got a European holiday and you're flying from a UK airport, Jet2 are probably quite a good option to go with. EasyJet have quite a low allowance. Same with Ryanair, they prefer 6Ah batteries or 110. But yeah, some of the longer ones like Virgin, Cathay Pacific, all the the Dubai and United Emirates type flights, they're quite happy. Any of the longer flights are happy to have 210s, but the only combination that every airline in the world will accept is 2 6Ah batteries. So remember that. If you want to buy a chair that's good for travel, day trips, things like that, ideally, and you're not really heavy, because obviously heavier people use up more battery, then 2 6-edge batteries would be more than enough, and that's the ideal that you should be going for. So I'll just reiterate, it's up to you to ask the questions. It's not up to them to tell you. Do not book a flight before you know which flight carrier is best for you and your needs and your wheelchair that you have. Hopefully that's been informative enough. But yeah, flying is an important thing, and we want you to take your chair abroad, and we want you to have a good holiday. Actually, one last thing which I need to say. So our warranty process is very simple. You get a fault, we need to know, we talk you through it over the phone if you're in the UK. If you're not in the UK and something happens, obviously we don't ship out to anywhere outside of the UK. So if you've got warranty, your warranty is only valid for in the UK. So if you're away and something happens, whether it's the airline have damaged it, you've damaged it yourself, and quite often, and I'm not trying to be harsh on our customers, but where you think something's happened to the chair, it's actually you've caused it or the baggage handlers have caused it. It's not from any fault of the chair's own. It's because, and we've had this so many times, and then we've talked through, and it's, they think, oh, the chair's one up, you've ruined our holiday, and what's really happened is the wire that links the joystick to the control unit, it's got a rip in it. And why do you think the wire's got a rip in it just as it's come off the airline? Do you know what I mean? So you have to give us a bit of a break, because it's not our fault 99% of the time. However, what we will do is, when you are away, is we'll say, look, let's get you on WhatsApp, take a picture or some videos of what's going on with the chair, and we can then help you, either tell you what it is, so if you can source it when you're away. What we would do is we would reimburse you. So if you found a part that was reasonable and we agreed on it and you got it whilst you're away, we would 100% reimburse you on the cost of that part, because that's fair. And we'd get you to do a video, list all the things that you think is going on. We can then make some suggestions. And what it means is the minute you land back in the UK, the next day when you're home, we can then get you sorted, ready to go. But it's not our fault when stuff happens 9 times out of 10 when you're abroad. And it's one of the risks of taking your wheelchair abroad. And that's why it's so important to, one, pick the right chair and the right company to buy from, when you're flying, but 2, to protect your chair with a travel bag so wires aren't being exposed or prone to being knocked. Or, I mean, if you are travelling and you don't take a travel bag, it's quite frankly, it's on your head, because you must be mad to not protect your chair in any way travelling. And, looking after the batteries. If your battery terminals are getting smashed around because you've got no protection on them, and your batteries go, then you've got no power to your chair. You've got to have some sort of common sense as well. So between the two of us, we'll get you back and running the minute you get back to the UK, but unfortunately we can't do anything other than troubleshoot whilst you're away. So on that rather doomy gloomy note, I mean, hopefully the rest of it's been really insightful, because we want to help you and we want you to have the best holiday, but you need to kind of have a bit of common sense about you. Choose the right provider before you go, and do all the protections, and have insurance. If you don't have insurance when you're flying as well, same as if I was to fly, didn't have insurance and something was to happen to me in Thailand, I'd be screwed, because my bills would be massive. I'd be forking out of my own money. Just be sensible, have a great holiday, and get prepared before you go. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.